Hello and welcome. I'm happy to welcome you to the new episode of AI News from PromptMate.
Hello, everyone.
Um, yes, I'm happy that Katja and Eugene are again with me, and we are talking today again about some great news in AI. I think Katja will start with some inspiration from the image sector, and Eugene then dive into some video topics, and I close with some more technical or rumoring things. So if you have any questions, feel free to use the chat. We are happy about every communication. So that's a live event, so that would be great. And yes, Katja,
Let's dive right in.
You can start if you like.
Okay. So we have heard about an update on the 17th of April of Stable Diffusion 3 API now being available, as well as Stable Diffusion 3 Turbo. If we look at this here, they are showing us, obviously also giving us the prompt, an awesome artwork of a wizard on the top of a mountain. He's creating a big text Stable Diffusion 3 API with magic text at dawn sunrise. Looks pretty good. And if we're looking through the rest of the photos, I wanted to mention, they do mention here that this model is equal to or outperforms state-of-the-art text-to-image generation systems such as DALL-E 3 and Midjourney. So yeah, their claim to fame would be quite high. We're as good or better. So if we're looking at those images here, short prompts, pretty well done, even though I don't know how people would get onto that sofa there on the rooftop, being right on the edge, but still it's, fairly good. Also in terms of the different styles, being on the left an impasto painting, in the middle more of a photographic scene, even though obviously we have a few folds here with the windows on the bottom right. But regardless, it's looking pretty good. And then here's another 3 examples that they're giving us, more on the photographic or from the photographic style. So overall, this looks pretty good and pretty promising. And I have tried it out and given it prompts myself. I've tried it out with our own tool, PromptMate. And I thought first, okay, let me think of an example. I usually like to go for use cases that I can actually apply. So I thought, okay, one of my clients, if he wanted to create an advertisement, it would have to involve sports and usually in a urban setting, and somehow we need to now apply test the model. So I gave it the prompt, basically create an image of a soccer field. I'm not going to read it all now, but this is what it came up with. Not too bad, even though if you can count, you will miss some legs. And if you can read German, then you'll see that the text is not copied correctly. It was, the input said it correctly, but here there's a P missing, and then down here. This is not as I put it into the input. Obviously, that's something that you can edit afterwards, but yeah, there's definitely some hiccups in terms of the image. I'm going to take you through a few more examples here. I just tried to basically, I wanted a volleyball scene, and it failed on that. Here I thought, okay, then just give me a beach volleyball graffiti where I can then think, okay, maybe then I can apply it to editing the text into it myself. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily use that on, so also I don't think it's such a good example or result that it produced. Here I basically said big beach volleyball graffiti in an urban setting, bird's view of the city and the beach volleyball courts in the background. It somehow doesn't understand that the blue and the waves, they don't necessarily apply to beach volleyball in urban areas. So that doesn't out. So it's a top view, so there's no way where I could place the advertisement text. The same goes for this. I just tried it with a different prompt. Also, this would not really work out. And I've tried one, and again, it puts all the graffiti focus on the ground, which I don't think that's really applicable. Also, usually those urban backgrounds, they look sort of like, I don't know, Bronxish. So maybe New York, maybe somewhere like Brooklyn. So you have to see then if, localization does make sense. And lastly, is it lastly? Oh no, I've tried one more with our own product. Saying, okay, now I'm gonna try not to, I'm just gonna try and give it the prompt, create an urban scene with an advertisement on a wall. Because then I thought, okay, then you can always edit that advertisement to whatever you need, and the scene around it should maybe be good. But also here, it doesn't really do all that much to me. And lastly, maybe just an interesting one. I used this prompt and exactly copied it, the one that's with a box here on the theater stage, exactly copied it and thought, okay, tell me what you give out. And again, so the result is it's okay, but it's not as good as obviously the example that they've used in the release feature. So yeah, my conclusion would be that the results that they used, they probably tried a couple of times, possibly even edited them. Don't know how many prompts they needed in order to get to these results. Regardless, it's not bad. That's where I would finish my conclusion about it.
Yeah, I would have had expected more sophisticated results, more stable text on the images that would be really helpful to create some social media content. But yeah, if I see that, it's still annoying to generate 50 images until you get a good result. Yeah, that's some problem.
Absolutely.
Perhaps there's some possibility to tune the prompt, like with the all other tools, to be more specific, use the right words, double check, or something like that. Perhaps that works. We will see in the future what prompts will come out there. But yeah, in the out of the box, I would have expected a little better results here.
Yeah, definitely. This is the first try at the moment, so hopefully they get better as soon as possible. I still see that they are more, for my understanding, in competition with Midjourney instead of, like, for example, DALL-E has this thing that makes it unique, that you shouldn't be a prompt wizard to get a good thing, a good result. But with Stability AI, if you're not precise and if you don't know, like, maybe the involvement of negative prompts, etc., it's very easy to get a bad result. And they can expand on the text usage front, but I think it will be good to do what DALL-E is doing when it comes to making it more user friendly, where everyone can use it instead of just being a huge expert in the field.
Yeah, I think the difference between DALL-E, you get greenwashed, whitewashed, don't know how to call it, images. Here you have more control over it, but yeah, perhaps it's just to create better prompts. But yeah, especially text. If they say, oh, now we can do text in a great way, and also the examples they show, if you need 10 or 20 times with the same prompt to get the same result, it's a stable model, yes, but regarding the text, it's a more logic thing in it. So yeah. And one other thing I would say is, we can see it in all the models out of there. They are getting more and more expensive. The Stable Diffusion 3 model is 7 times or 10 times more expensive than the model before, and that's something we see also in the text-to-text models like Claude. If you want to get the best, the holy grail, you need to pay more with each model which comes out there. And at the moment, that's more API thing. We work directly with the APIs, so we see that cost and give them to the customers through. But for all other tools out of there who are using such engines and have a price model, and then if there's a new engine coming out, they not easily can shift to that new model because they have a price model. And yeah, if they generate 100 images and then it's a new, it's really complex to keep on with the model evaluation in such tools, and it's also really hard to be if you are not transparent what models you are using, what the user can expect. Is that tool working with Stable Diffusion 3 or still with 1.6, or what is in behind there? And yeah, every week some new models out of there, and yeah, it's hard to keep on. Also for all the AI tools out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree.
So yes, great. So I think the next topic, Katja, was Vasa.
Vasa. Microsoft has or is announcing that they are working on a video or like model where heads can speak, talking heads basically, similarly, but here's a Microsoft version from it. We can just quickly look at it. So basically, how the way it works, if you scroll up, Michael, you see a little image. It basically shows you. So you input an image, you give an audio clip, and then you do have some controls over it. So you can give it an emotion, which we're going to check out now. But basically, it's an image and an audio clip, and then generates this.
So, sometimes nothing happens, and sometimes everything happens all at once, and you just kind of deal with it. And it's also just strange to both be extremely worried about different things and have your anxiety levels like peak to the highest. Have you ever had, maybe you're in that place right now where you want to turn your life around, and somewhere deep in your soul, there could be some decisions that you have to make. Like
It looks impressive.
The first thing we need to look at is the letter H, so the sound at the beginning. It depends what country you're from, but many native languages have a problem with.
What does strike me, so it is impressive. There's a lot of, very natural, authentic features, the way they move, the heads, the eyes, the eyebrows. What I do find is that the mouth are slightly under, like not moving quite enough in order to match the tonality that comes from the vocal input. So you listen to the vocal input and you're like, if you were saying it like that, then your mouth should be making a bigger or broader gesture here. So that's what I found. Also, I found that like slightly, the eyes are looking a little like, too close. There's a bit of a like sleepiness there. So if you scroll down, Michael, they're basically giving us some controls here and say, basically you can, decide if you want the head to be looking right, left, in orientation. You can zoom in or out, decide how close or far away you want to be. And then the last one's quite interesting. So this one has basically the same clip, but in 4 different emotions. So let's look at that one.
You stand up all the time. I'm a stand-up comedian, improviser by trade. You had me on one of the most fun experiences of my life as I was on the show in Chicago, and I attempted to eat 2 Italian beef sandwiches in under a minute.
On the left here, he's neutral, then happy, then angry, and then I think surprised. And I almost find that the surprised, it's definitely a lot more grabbing because the eyes are big and it's sort of more engaging than the other. So I thought that's quite interesting. Maybe it's just a personal thing. Again, they obviously here mentioned then in that release or in that announcement that they're working on it, that's not yet available, and still safety and how it's going to be used and how they can control that is still in question. So until they have legislation that really keeps people safe from misusing it, they won't release it.
Yeah. Looking forward when the first good model is going live and we can use it for generation. There are some great possibilities, but also it's a big competition to HeyGen or Synthesia. All of them are already doing such stuff. Not as fast as I think, so they have their models and they have their surroundings, and they need to the model to learn your face and from the image. That's also already possible. Here it looks more like you just upload the image and then it does its stuff, and that would speed up such as avatar switching, using, etc. in a really big way. All that thoughts about these anger about that they can be misused, in my eyes, with HeyGen or Synthesia today, you can already create fake things in a good quality. Perhaps not as fast, and you need to pay. But if you really want, you can make some president saying that your product is the best you have at the end. Perhaps they have some regulations on it, but yeah, looks impressive.
Absolutely. That's this is the part where it kind of gets a little bit weird, because you're like, okay, what's the goal here? What's the end goal? What will these be used for? Because even in the case of HeyGen, will they be a testimonial? Will they be? Is it like you're interviewing someone? But if you're interviewing someone, shouldn't that be authentic and a real person with a real life and real events? It becomes a little bit ambiguous, right? So, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I think
the
something-
technology is impressive.
I think a use case that they are hinting towards here, being extremely fast with a delay that is almost not noticeable. The use case they're hinting towards is uploading an image and then only having someone like an operator, just using the voice and automatically generating the image, being like, whether that's now some sort of service or
Perhaps
that type of thing.
Customer support, etc. I mean, yeah.
Customer support. That's what
Perhaps this will be integrated in WhatsApp sometimes. So every voice message you send, you already it's a video directly. So and you can lie in the bed and make that, and it looks like you're on the beach or something. But yeah, at the end the question is, how does that inflect our social life in some ways? But that's also another technology where we can ask that question. The other ones, the other video apps already out there. There's so much fake, and yeah, it's not AI fake, but it's fake. So at the end, yeah, one technology more who can do fake, and everyone need to decide what to trust, what not to trust, what to look at, etc. So yeah,
Absolutely.
but yeah, Eugene, you have said that there are some social implications, and yeah, I'm really happy to show you all the great testimonial about
Yeah,
about PromptMate. I think Eugene can tell a little bit more about that later.
absolutely. So as we just spoke about it, it's called HeyGen, and it allows you to generate a testimonial by simply adding a URL of your product. But in this case, I tried our product, or PromptMate. If you can just play it, so we can hear it, and yeah, then we can comment on it.
Are you a digital marketer or an SEO expert looking to supercharge your processes? Look no further than PromptMate.io. With its advanced AI-powered tools, you can automate your app workflows and speed up your results. Build prompt chains, combine different AI systems, and add external data for optimal outcomes. Plus, you can enjoy bulk processing and access ready-to-go prompts from the template library. Don't miss out on the power of PromptMate.io for your digital success. Check it out now. Are you
I couldn't say it better than he.
Definitely, totally agree. And I think the technology is already there. What I personally feel is that now it becomes a matter of niches, of fields. Like, for example, in this case, I think this guy would be way more better for a motivational speaker, because his body language is very empowering and motivating. And I think you should more craft it in that side, but the rest it's awesome. And the cadence or the emphasis, when you emphasize a specific keyword in your phrase or whatever, and then the body language comes, I think that's where you should yeah, but the rest is amazing. I also tried to add an Amazon URL of a product or of some headphones, and it did a way better job in terms of giving. In this case, I gave the homepage, right? PromptMate homepage, and it did this. But again, here, as I was wondering earlier, like, what's the goal? Because would we have fake testimonials? Are we legitimizing fake testimonials now? Like, what would you do?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main question. So somebody tells great stuff about prompt mate, but yeah, it's not true. It's true what she said, but it's not a true person. This person don't have followers. And yeah, if you build your own social fake AI account and you can do such testimonials fast for your customers, you can earn some money, but it's also not really true at the end. I'm also not. I'm not sure where that function is for. Is it for some e-commerce stores who wants to add a video on their site which just looks great to have a better conversion? Yeah, but if the people someone notice that this is fake and it's not a real person talking to you, that can harm your brand and some customers running away crying because they got lied. I'm not sure what's happening here.
I think
Totally.
if copyright applies and we're using it basically the same as we would use it in anything that is generated by a human or made by a human, then I think sharing something like this should always come along with like a little warning or something that says AI generated. And I think as long as you do that, you're not lying about where you got it from or whether it's a real person. But I must say when Eugene shared this and I looked at it, I was like, who's this guy knowing so much about our product? Like that's like I really had that moment of like, wow, okay, this is interesting. And even though I realized quickly it was AI generated, I still thought like it still had an effect on me. So I don't necessarily actually see it like as something negative, as long as you don't lie about obviously the source and where you got it from.
Totally agree. You can play around with it, and in the context is everything. Because if you're trying to sell something and say, "Oh, I tried it, it's good," but it's fake, then it doesn't work. But if he is just being creative and saying something about your product, a funny thing or whatever, then that will be fine to your content creation process, right? Talking about content creation, the next topic we should be discussing is about Sora and its competitor. Welcome to 2024, where the product is not yet out, but you already have competitors. So let me just share my screen for a second, and so I can show to you. Okay, can you guys please confirm you can see?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So talking about Sora, now we have Vidu coming straight out of China. It's technology developed in the Tsinghua University, I guess it's pronounced, and it's capable of producing 60-second clips of high resolution, obviously. Also a little bit inferior to Sora because Sora promises to generate 60-second videos, and it really claims to be a straight competitor of Sora, because even when you see the video, like for example, I have the two videos here, and this is Sora, right? So Sora, except the fact that it has a 10-minute preview introduction, and the quality, we have all seen it. It's pretty wild. Vidu is not bad, actually. I'll just show you in a second. So this is Vidu. Yeah. So definitely has some stuff in it. What I noticed, which is weird, is that it even tries to it says it's a competitor, but it's really testing head to head with Sora. So for example, if you look at Sora, it has a car driving around, and then if you look at Vidu, it has a car driving around, and then Sora has I think some TVs here, TVs up on top of each other, and then they do the same. It's very funny. I guess here. So they really try to say, look, we are an alternative to them, and if they can do this, we can do this. about the data on which it has been trained, I have some questions, meaning that it's coming from China, right? Which means if you ban internet platforms, you automatically get less creators compared to, I don't know, the West, for example. So with less creators, you get less content, and with less content, maybe you get less data on which it can be trained. But the results are not bad. I still prefer Sora personally. I don't know what you guys think.
Yes, also, I see it more as a competition to. Back. I see it more as a competition to PicaArt and not to Sora. Sora is and PicaArt is live, so that's something you can create 4-second videos and extend them 2 times to 12 seconds. So that's really similar to what the numbers are here. Sora is they have some same videos there, like the car driving, but if you take a look on the Sora video, there's 60 seconds makes a huge difference here. So just these clips, you jump from one to one to one to one to build something, doesn't give you a feeling of a real movie or something. It's just more adding, doing images in some sort behind each other, and yeah, I'm not really impressed of it. It's good, so don't understand, but in that way we are going from one new video thing to another. It's okay, and yeah, there's sure potential, but yeah, compared to that what Sora has shown. But also here, if it's Sora or that new platform here, the question is how often they need to generate one of that snippets to get the final one. So did they have generated the TV things 5,000 times to get this great one which they show? Same question on Sora, but Sora have done some live thing where they also can create 500 videos and choose fast one, but yeah, wow, that's also the question here.
That's crazy.
That is always the question until we test it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let me take a look on the clock. The time is running. One last, two last short things from my side. We have some rumoring about a GPT-2 chatbot. Don't know who has heard about that. There were there's a platform where you can, let me show you my screen, where you can compare different models. It's more like you can rate it later. So you ask a question, it gives you two answers, and at the end you can say, oh, A is better or B is better, etc. If you do this, you get an information from what model is it. On that way, it also generates a letterboard. Normally, I would want to show you the GPT-2 in live, but they have added a note. Some don't know when, but it's not long there. So GPT-2 chatbot is currently unavailable. So yeah, and it has something to do with their policy. So I'm not sure how that model gets into that. But yeah, there were some rumor about that model. I also have seen it in live, so it has looked in the past. It has looked like that. What is catfish? I have asked, and I got an answer from Llama 3, which is also a new model out of there, but it's an official open source model. And I got an answer from GPT-2 chatbot. And yeah, the people are talking, is it the new GPT-5 or is it GPT 4.5? Is it? if you ask the model, it's based on GPT-4. Doesn't say more at that point, yeah, it's unclear what it is. I think it's just a test in some way, perhaps from OpenAI itself, to just test out a new model against the competition and their own models in a hacking way here, to get some information about it, or it's just a marketing gag. I'm not sure about what it is, but yeah, it's at the moment it's more. There's, as from my side, there's no much information about that. But yeah, it's interesting to see how much people are getting onto such a topic and running behind the next great thing. But if it's really GPT-4.5 or GPT-5, the results seem to be great, but not as impressive as you perhaps expect from a GPT-5. So yeah, let's see where we there at the end. Yeah, some last. For the last one, what I want to mention is Screen AI. It's a document from Google Research, and what it does is it can analyze websites. Okay, you can do already with Vision or with Gemini or something like that. But it also recognizes what code or what link or what part of the web page is behind that information. So you can see it here. You get the information that is here's the headline, here's the button, and for me it could be a great enhancement in the future. So if you imagine a chatbot don't only can execute some functions or something like that, it can directly interact with websites and clicking buttons and make a reservation for you in your fancy restaurant on your street or something like that. Today, some sort of call agent can do that for you, but if a model really understood, that's already there, and it can give you the ability to interact with the website by saying, "Oh, what would you do for the next for registration?" And it answers, "I would click that button," and you click that button, and etc. etc. That would be some really great thing, and gives you much more opportunities to discover in the World Wide Web or using such tools. Yeah.
I see a lot of jobs lost with this, more jobs lost. Because if you get AI to press buttons around and remove the mouse function from the human being, it's like goodbye. I mean, there's no more need. But yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's another topic. Perhaps we take some time in the next AI news to talk about jobs and AI. But today you can also do parts of that with just normal models. You can use a vision. You can use, as example, PromptMate to make a screenshot. You can use Vision to see what's on the screenshot, and also you can use the HTML content to find out which is the right button. You can do it in some sort of not as good as filling a form or something. That's really complex doing with it, but just navigating through a website is possible, but it's like other things, it's not stable. But if you have really the connection between the image and the website, yeah, that could be do much for such processes.
Absolutely.
Okay, anything you want to add at the end? I think we need to stop here. We are over time.
I think it's gonna be as you said for the next episode.
Yeah, really happy to have you. Thank you all for your attention here. Thank you, Katja, Eugene, to participate again. It's a pleasure each time to talk with you. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.